Good afternoon, guys. So today, slightly philosophical topic we're going to touch on: time. The meaning of everything. It's all connected into it. And the statement we often hear from people about training is, "I don't have time. Don't have time in my week." So let's look at this from an outside perspective. How much time do you actually have? Well, there's 168 hours in your week. I saw an article on this recently which kind of brought it again to the furore of me, which is why I'm covering it today. So there's 168 hours in your week. And if we see if the average person works a 40-hour week, that's 40 hours. But let's round that up. Let's say you spend 56 hours of your week involved with work. So that involves you going to work, coming home from work. That sounds reasonable. Most people are going to be in that bracket. And if you sleep 8 hours every night, which, let's be honest, most of us don't, that's another 56 hours. You have 56 hours left out of that. Okay? So you're talking about, out of 56 hours that you have, that you are not working and not sleeping, you don't have time. So there's a question. It's not that you don't have time, it's that maybe you're not making it a priority. And just to give an idea, so many people say, "Oh, I don't have time, it's only 1 week, it's only this, what's the point?" Well, if somebody started training in January this year and they trained 3 hours a week, and let's be, again, quite generous with this. If you train only 3 hours a week and it takes you half an hour to get to and from the gym, let's say you're taking 6 hours out of your week. So you've gone from having that 56 hours of free time down to 50. You can still watch a lot of Netflix in 50 hours. I'm pretty sure you won't miss those extra 6 hours of Netflix. So if you did train 3 times a week and it took 6 hours of your week, you would have trained 111 hours up to today, give or take. If you only trained twice a week, you would have trained 74 hours up to today. And if you only trained once a week for an hour, you'd have trained 37 hours. That mightn't seem like much, but over time, that all adds up. And it's all about steps over time. You can't be expected to train 6, 8, 9 hours, 12 hours a week. That's not possible. It's not sustainable. And you don't have to. If you want to look like a physique model, then obviously you need to change your priorities around. There was a fantastic post from a gentleman there who acts on a show called It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he lost a shed load of weight and looked incredible. And someone said, "How did you do it?" And he goes, "Oh, well, it's really quite simple. You don't eat anything after 7 p.m. You don't eat anything nice ever again. You get the trainer from Magic Mike. You sleep 9 hours a night. You run 3 kilometers a day, and you weight train 6 days a week. And guess what? You too can look like a Chippendale model then. If you want to do all that, then fine, yes, that works too. But you don't have to go to that extreme to get the benefit of exercise. I even have one gent here who recently came back to training. He had a very difficult summer, and I know this guy very well. Now he's been coming for a while, and if there was ever a guy who did not have time to train, it is this guy. And he only comes for a half an hour at a time. And even to get 3 sessions of half an hour a week, he makes it his priority. There was a month where he couldn't, and there was work, there was all kinds of other situations, and sometimes you have to make priorities in life. But he didn't take that as an excuse of, it's a month and I'm gone forever. He was back in. He messaged me last night, "Can I come in today?" And I was like, "Yes, let's make this happen." He'll be back in again Thursday. And that's the stuff I love to see. It can't always be easy, but it is about that consistency. That's the reason why we always have on our wall, 80% of success is just turning up. I'm sitting in a slightly different area of the gym today, and if I flipped it around, it's going to be mirrored anyway, so what's the point? You'll just take my word for it. And might I add, the 8 on the quote is actually upside down, but the quote only has to be 80% successful, so that's okay. So think about it for this week. Think about, in your week, are there any hours that you actually don't need? Is there any hours that you could change around? It's not about throwing everything out. It's not about getting rid of your Netflix. It's not about saying that you have to be running every night when you come home and you can't have a life. I mean, really, 6 hours out of your entire let's say, free time in your week. Like, I mean, you take 2 hours out of one day, what is it? It's one episode of The Sopranos plus making your dinner. You take 2 hours out of another day, and again, it's like 2 episodes, and then you can take Saturday morning. And if you get up at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning as opposed to the 12 o'clock, guess what? You've suddenly not even lost that time. There's so many people who love to come in here on a Saturday morning, and they love the fact that they train at 8 or 9 on a Saturday morning, and 11 o'clock comes and they still have their whole day ahead of them. It's fantastic. I'm not saying that everybody likes that, but even if you train 2 days a week, I mean, 74 hours up to this week, you know, I'm not going to say you're going to be a Victoria's Secret model or a Chippendale dancer, but you know what? You're going to make a damn big difference in your physique if you were able to train consistently over the last 37 weeks. So it's just something to kind of think about. Make the priority in your life. Figure out, are there any times of your day or of your week that you could be doing something else, or you could be making an investment in your future, because the weeks do keep trucking on. It's very easy to say, like at the start of the year, oh, I'm going to have a great 2018, I'm going to get back on the horse, and we get 6 months in and you've not done it, and now we're 9 months in, and you know, the cycle just keeps repeating year on year and year. And as we all know, unfortunately, I'm no stranger to this myself, once you get past 30, when months seem to be long, now they're very short, and it just keeps clocking on. And if you don't get on top of it at some point, it could be too late. I mean, obviously the best time to start fitness was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. You can't always hold yourself hostage to the mistakes or the experiences you had in the past. You have to make a decision and move on forward. If you're not happy with something, you need to change it. And if you're not happy with something, change something. Sitting and being unhappy is not going to do anything for you. Change something. Okay? So anyways, guys, best of luck. Wasn't much massive actionable stuff today, but it's just get the cogs a spinning. Okay? Take care of yourselves. Chat soon.